this is how I was able to catch 25% on a 3-day QQQ call. I'll be going over my trade and show you guys exactly how I did that. So we had SMT here on this turtle soup move. Um, the higher time frame, if you look at the 4 and the 1 hour, let me remove all this stuff just for right now. You can see we're inside of this 4-hour gap, and we are tapping this down close candle. The daily, you can see where we're at, daily fair value gap as well. No reason to be bearish on the higher time frame, so that means we're not going to be looking for trades on to the downside. So 15-minute, this is what I was looking at. There was a untapped 15-minute fair value gap that I was looking at to be respected. You look at the 5-minute, you can see that how clean these lows are right here. So when you have relative equal lows right outside of an untapped fair value gap, normally that's where you get your explosive turtle soups from. So that's exactly what I was anticipating, and price, that's what price did. So I didn't take this in live just because I wasn't expecting this nice of a move, but I did catch the continuation. So we also get this failure to close below this down close candle, and then we get a closure above this down close candle with a fair value gap, and we have a market structure shift here on the 15-minute, and now this is a valid order block and fair value gap to be able to get used. So we got this really nice explosive move through, and what I did is whenever that happens, I normally like to use the last manipulation leg before the expansion. So whenever I do see speed, I like to use the silver bullet zone. So this is what gives me extra confluence in understanding where price is drawing towards. You look at the 15-minute, actually the 5 is cleaner, you can see it. We have this high right here that pretty much lines up with the 2 standard deviation. So if you look at the 15, we also have this untapped 15-minute fair value gap, which I'll mark out. That's the low of it. And now I will show you what the 1-minute looked like. Or the 15-minute was also important as well. So we had this last, this was the last bearish gap that was being respected until this candle closed over at 1 p.m. So that's when I was expecting this 15-minute fair value gap to act as an inversion. You can see the wicks are telling the story. Look at the bodies, right? Look at the 5-minute, pretty much closing inside of this 5-minute gap. And that's where I narrowed my entry down to the 1-minute. So you could have entered anywhere inside of here. I did actually get stopped out beforehand. I took a little bit earlier of an entry and then ended up trailing my stop too tight. I got stopped out on this move down here, but I did get back in, and I did actually get a better fill. So you see how we have our silver bullet zone here. We have 1-minute fair value gaps. Price was just free pricing back into a deep discount of this dealing range, I should say. You can see OTE. Price is hitting that, refusing to break these lows. These are our protected lows before our liquidity objectives are met. And as soon as we got this inversion here, that also led with the change in the state of delivery. You see these 3 down close candles. We get a closure above here, creating a fair value gap. This inversion was telling the story as well. Fair value gap up here, and my take profit was hit shortly after. You can see that this was my liquidity draw. That's where I got out on QQQ, and this was that 15-minute fair value gap low that got tagged, and you can see the reaction. That's why I was not anticipating price to continue through that area. So really nice, clean, simple trade. Really nice sound logic. The higher time frame lined up with the lower time frame, and that's when you are supposed to pull the trigger. Pretty short video today, but this is the trade that I took. So I took a small loss on this exact same option play, but that was my fault. My stop loss was here initially, but then I trailed it too tight, like I said, got stopped out. Completely my fault, but the market did move a little sloppily, but the move was still nice nonetheless. Time did have to align with price before we ended up getting our nice move, but that's all for this video. That's the only 2 trades that I took on QQQ, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.